I'm testifying from Canada. I'm here to say that I'm that woman that God showed mercy. I got introduced to NSPPD in 2020. I was an on-again, off-again NSPPDian because I've suffered multiple setbacks. I've had 3 miscarriages. These miscarriages occur every 7 weeks. All the miscarriages every 7 weeks. I've also had 3 failed IUIs. I remember the next time I went to see my fertility doctor, she was like, I was going to do IVF, that was the next steps to do IVF. And I told her that I'm not going to use my money to service negativity. I decided to go back to God. I decided to come back to NSPPD because I know that God has been showing mercy to others, and I believe that God will show me mercy. So I went back to NSPPD. I started coming to the 7 AM prayers regularly. There was a testimony that I watched. A woman had a similar case to mine. She's had different miscarriages at a certain period, just like me, and God finally gave her her evidence. And I claimed it, and I told myself that if God can do it for her, God will do it for me. I started watching that testimony, praying on that testimony, using it as a point of contact for myself. In December 2022, I found that I was pregnant. And that day I found out, I was so happy. When it was 7 weeks, those symptoms of miscarriages started again. And I kept my faith, I boosted up my faith, and the word of knowledge came again. Papa said that any pregnant woman that is here, that will not lose our babies.
Pregnant women, put your 2 hands on your belly at the sound of your amen. None of you will die in your pregnancy. None of you will die in your pregnancy. There shall be no infant of days. You will not cast your young. You will not cast your young.
As God will have it, the pregnancy continued. In my second trimester, ending of my second trimester, I started having complications. I was rushed to the emergency, which the doctor, by the time they did the scan, they found out that my baby, that was 29 weeks gestation, but she was measuring 27 weeks. And they said that the placenta was not working and that they will have to remove the baby because I was showing signs of my liver was failing, my kidney was failing, my heart was not functioning properly. And I said, God, I went back to the word of knowledge that Papa said, that no pregnant woman will lose their lives or lose their babies, and I kept on praying. When she was finally delivered, my baby measured 980 grams, less than 1 kg, and she was taken to the NICU. She was on CPAP, she was on high and low flow oxygen. She had an NG tube in her nose that was helping, that they were using to feed her. She also had a hole in her heart. Her lungs were not fully mature, and there were just so many complications. But in all of this, there was a word of knowledge that Papa said that there was a person that has a hole in the heart, that he prays that let that hole be sealed.
The Lord is sealing up every hole in the heart. Every hole in the heart. Every hole in the heart. Right now. Let it be sealed up.
I keyed on it, and lo and behold, when they did the ultrasound again, she had the hole in her heart had sealed up. When she could fully fully use the bottle, and she could fully breastfeed, they removed the NG tube, and I was like, my second testimony has been answered. Also, for her lungs, the doctor came to meet me one day that she's feeding well with bottle and with breast, that if she still needs the oxygen, that I would have to take her home with the oxygen. And I said no, that my baby will leave this NICU whole. There was a certain person's testimony that he said that the word of knowledge came, that Papa prayed that Papa said that person with a collapsed lungs, and I used it as a point of contact for my baby. I used it because I believed that God will have a total healing in her life, and as God will have it, on the day before she was supposed to be discharged, I got there and she had no CPAP, she had no high flow, low flow oxygen, she was breathing on her own, she was doing everything on her own. I was like, is this how God used to do? Is this how God works? And I was so happy. Everything that I asked God to do, He did it. He showed up. I just want to say, Papa, I just want to thank you, Papa, for